Hey y'all, hey, I'm Miss Morgyn, and this week in Community Affairs, I'm speaking with Marcus Thomas from DC Invest. The DC, Maryland, and Virginia real estate market is unique, and DC Invest meetups primary focus is to provide active and new investors all of the education, support, and other tools necessary to actually make money right here in this area. We're going to talk about gentrifying your own community, but I'm not going to get too much into that. DC Invest Meetup's mission with our free monthly meetup is to help ensure our members' real estate success by providing quality real estate investing education and frequent fun real estate networking opportunities. They also offer a platform to present your deals as well as purchase a deal from other attendees. Marcus Thomas, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem. Thank you, Moon. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, I spoke with you guys last year, early fall, late summer. You and your partner, Reggie Riley.
That's right.
All right. And we were talking about how you can gentrify your own neighborhood.
That's right.
And how someone regular, degular, schmegular
That's right.
can get into a rental property and start to invest.
Yes, ma'am.
So you got to tell me again how we do all of that.
So
where do I start?
So basically, you know, it begins with understanding who you are. One thing that we've incorporated into the business in 2020 is personality assessments, taking a real assessment of understanding you, because that'll help you determine where you want to go, especially in this real estate investment business, because not everybody will be a real estate investor to every category. You know, you may not be the one that's going to flip the house. You may not be the one that's going to rent the house. You may not be the one that's going to lend the money, but all of the above and other things make you a real estate investor. So that also helps you determine what is available to you in your community so you can be the gentrifier versus the gentrifiee.
Now, the word gentrify has a lot of negative connotations with it, associated with it, but you defined it the last time you were here, and it's not a negative term.
Not at all. Not at all.
Can you explain?
Sure, because the precipice behind it is you're changing a undervalued community to an maybe overvalued or community that the current residents can no longer afford. But that doesn't have to be the case. We have now defined it as just upgrading urban communities.
It doesn't mean black or white.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who lives there, black, white, brown, or green.
Right.
So we gentrifying Mars next? I mean, come on. You know, that's not what's really happening.
An upgrade is an upgrade.
That's right. And what we want to do is we want to upgrade our own communities, and we want to empower the people to do the same. Just because I come in the neighborhood, purchase a home, renovate it, and sell it, does not mean that my neighbor couldn't do the same. Or have their own home renovated and keep it. All you want to do is the upgrade. Why? We no longer need our neighborhoods to be hoods.
Okay.
You know, the neighborhood can be the hood, but it can be the best hood of it. It can be the best of itself. It can still have all the businesses come to the area and offer jobs for the community.
Well, that's what I was going to get into.
Yeah.
What does it do long term for us to gentrify our own neighborhood?
I mean, it's worth, it's net worth, it's value, it's community, it's legacy, it's generational wealth, it brings jobs to the community. I mean, it's just it can be an exponential explosion within your own neighborhood with the same people. We don't have to shy away. Like, you look at what happened some years ago in DC with the whole Walmart scare, and there's like, oh, Walmart's going to drive out a lot of the small businesses.
Right.
But it really didn't. I mean, the small businesses are still there, and the ones that were already leaving were leaving for other reasons. Maybe they may have wanted to sell out. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing, is getting the people to say, you don't need to sell out. There are ways to retain the value that you have in your property by investing in yourself. And that's what we do.
How did you get started in
It's funny. I actually got started with Reg. You know, Reg called me. I'm 2 years behind Reg, and we went to college together. So when Reg graduated, shortly after Reg graduated, he bought a house. And he was like, man, this the move. This what we need to be doing. I pretty much have always followed his footsteps from college on out. So we started looking at purchasing pre-construction homes that were, at the time, really, really cheap in PG County and DC. And then we would sell the house right before it was built to somebody who will pay more because the values increased. So then we started noticing that we can do that in other communities too. And a lot of them we would buy, we would renovate them, then we would keep them and rent them out. And that gave us, real net worth. I mean, we reached to be millionaires in our 20s because of our property value that we had. So we kept doing it. We kept doing it. The mortgage market crumbled. Everything went bad. We lost a couple of properties we had to do fire sales on. But for the most part, we still stayed in a good stance. We said, okay, we get the opportunity to do this again, we're going to go a little harder. And that's what we did. We went a lot harder. But then we took it and added the educational piece on because we saw that it could benefit everyone.
Yeah, there's a need.
That's right. That's right.
And speaking of that, I mean, when I spoke with you guys last time, I'm not sure that I myself completely understood what you did. And I hate to admit that reality TV might have helped me do that, Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
In a very real situation, though,
That's right.
where a rapper, Jim Jones, he's been with his girl for years. They're not legally married.
Right.
And she is the face of an investment company.
That's right.
Real estate investment company.
Yep.
Now, they lost their home in foreclosure or...
Kinda. So he let it go. So I it's funny, before that aired, I had read some stuff about it, and I saw an interview with him.
Okay.
He was in a situation where his property was over leveraged.
Okay.
From a financial standpoint. He owned several properties, so he said, I'm letting that one. He said, the bank won't work with me. I'm not, just because I'm wealthy doesn't mean I'm going to keep paying for it.
Oh, okay. So then us, the media, we got a hold of it and was like, Jim Jones, that lost his mansion.
Listen,
okay.
Jim Jones, I mean, that's one of the rap moguls I really respect, and he is a mogul. He is very wealthy. And him letting go of a mansion that costs X ain't a big deal. It happens to the big wigs every day. You just don't know because they just keep on pushing, just like he did. Of course, they had to bring it to life for content, and it could have hurt her reputation. That her stance was good, but he should have let her know, look, this we doing, we sacrificing this one for this reason.
Right.
But there are ways around that. They could have done what's called a short sale and some other things, so maybe should have gave me a call. I could help them out.
Oh, man. You reach New Jersey?
Man, we go wherever we need to go. We nationwide now. That's why we did the rebranding, so wherever we go, people know where we from. We invest here, we live here. DC Invest.
DC Invest. You invest here, you live here. So where can I invest? And where would you say, somebody getting started, where's my first property? Where am I looking?
So I would first say, again, this way it goes back to the assessments. It's like, what do you have? Like, do you have self-worth already? Because if you do, we want to make sure that your home ground is good. I never want anybody to go out there and just start jumping out there and buying property or putting their money out there if they haven't taken care of themselves first. So the first thing is, let's get you an investment property that you live in. Let's get you your own property. But let's buy it as if it's an investment. We make sure we get it cheap, we make sure we do some good renovations, then you refinance it and you keep it. And that's called the BRRRR, buy, renovate, refi. And that puts you in a position that you now have equity, you now even have a little bit of cash in your pocket, and it's a house that you live in.
BRRRR.
There you go. Like Gucci.
Oh, Gucci.
Yeah.
I like that. Wow. It's just so fascinating. And just going back to the Jim Jones Chrissy story, her not being married to him, but them being together for however X many years.
Right.
This was a situation where it gives her an opportunity to create her own cushion for herself.
That's right.
So she's invested in these properties. Well, she's the face of the company, but then she's also bringing along other women to say, hey, you can have your own cushion.
That's right.
Can you explain that a little bit further?
So even in that's the beauty of real estate is the empowerment piece to it. You can segment like Chrissy did with the women and say, hey, don't be so dependent upon your man. Have value.
Right.
Bring value, but also retain it.
Right.
Retain it so that in the event when what happened with her and Jim, it didn't affect her too much because she was still building. Now, from a reputation standpoint, it could have, but you speak to it.
Right.
It's one of those things
She addressed
for me.
it.
I say you
It
run to
looked
the
bad.
problem.
Right.
Run to it, don't run from
Confront
it.
it. Right.
And so by that empowerment, that teaching those lessons, you can go to all of the different demographics, groups, black, white, and in between, and say, hey, you have a community that's undervalued. If you all bring it up together, you all have that value. That's something you can leave to your kids, your nieces, your nephews. That's something that people can stay in their families for years and years. And that's part of the issue is when we sell that off, that's when we get the gentrification name from a negative aspect because somebody else sees more value in our community than we do. And what Chrissy saw was she saw more value not just in within the women. She said, no, I see value here. I see where I could be, so let me correct it, but then also let me help others correct it,
Right.
and we all come up together. So it allows you to be in a very empowering position and just choose. You can choose your demographic of who you want to help, or you can say, I'll help anybody who wants to be helped. And that's what we do. If you want some help, we're here for you. If you need vision, we can help you reach it. We just start with the assessment, see what you have, and we pretty much go from there.
Well, how can we get in contact with you?
You can check us out, dcinvestllc.com. You can check us out on Instagram at dcinvestllc, and YouTube. Just go on YouTube and search for DC Invest LLC, and you'll find all of our media, you'll find all of our products, contact information, anything you need, we're right there.
And you guys have meetups too, so people can come out to...
That's right. And if you want to see us live and uncut, the last Thursday of every month, we have a meetup at the Hilton Garden Inn in Greenbelt. We're from about 7 to 9:30, so it's enough time for you to get home, get the kids straight, come out, have some drinks. We got a DJ network.
Wait a second. Hold on. Rewind.
Yeah.
So it's a vibe too?
Gotta be. It's gotta be. Because we don't like stuffy.
Okay.
You know, me and Reg both never wear a suit, never wear a tie. We always gotta be comfortable. We both big dudes, so we need elbow room.
Y'all said y'all millionaires?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Exactly. You know, we don't look like your typical.
Right.
And that's, you shouldn't. You be yourself. I'm gonna be myself all the time. And our meetup reflects who we are. People come, they enjoy themselves, and they learn. You know, learning doesn't have to be uncomfortable.
Absolutely. And I'm realizing that myself with even sitting here with you, because I told you off air that I didn't necessarily realize the extent or how deep and important the work that y'all are doing is.
Yep.
It's that in itself is undervalued. It's something that should probably be taught in schools and definitely to the people in our community.
Yep.
Speaking of our community, can you tell me a story about maybe someone who was underprivileged in the community, who came to you and they didn't even believe it?
Yep. I could give you stories from different levels, whether it be people that work for us, from a construction side, or even real estate agent side, because we're creating jobs. It's job creation.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the renovation. See what I'm saying? I'm learning every day. So there's renovations to be made.
So we've helped people start businesses because of what we do. You know, other construction companies, plumbers, electricians, even apprentices, general contractors, real estate agents who are getting no business. They come with us and they flourish because we're always buying and selling, Wow. Even some of our mentees, we've got a mentee that he came. He was didn't have much money, didn't know which way he wanted to go, was married with children, and was trying to figure out what to really do. So he took out a line of credit and said, hey, I got some money, let's go do it. He came to our course, got mentored, and he bought his first property. He already owned a house. He bought his second property, flipped it, made some money. He said, okay, well, let's go 4 or 5 more times. And now I think he's probably on his 5th renovation.
Wow.
And it's just a working class guy, IT guy, just said, I want to give it a shot. I want to have something for my kids. I mean, we got a house, but what else can I get? What else can I learn? And what can I teach them? Right.
And so through that process, was he able to essentially upgrade from his situation?
100%. Because see, now it's freedom. It's freedom. He no longer has to feel tied down or bogged down to just his current situation. He sees that he has the ability to change that situation. Just got to be willing to take that risk. And he took the first step by coming to us, and we showed him a pathway from there.
How long does it take? I know people are like, I don't know if I got the time, but you said...
If you ain't got no time, you better have a lot of money.
Okay. And if you ain't got the money...
You better have time.
Okay, well, I don't got the time, I don't got the money.
So you don't have either, you better know somebody with one of each.
Okay.
Or one or the other. And the time is based on, again, that's why we start with the assessment, like where do you want to go with your life? I don't want to put you in a situation as a student, a mentee, or if I'm coaching you as a player in the game and you don't want to go to the highest level. You may say, I just want residual income. I want an extra $500 a month.
I mean, that makes sense. If I'm comfortable in my space, maybe.
You might love your space. You just want a little extra. You can stack some money every year. Christmas is always free now.
Okay.
You can take some vacations. Okay, then we show you how to do that. We'll introduce you to some rental products, or we may introduce you to a position where you may be able to leverage a line of credit, a credit card, or even your retirement to lend money to somebody and have them pay you back residually. So it's a ton of different ways.
When
to get
you're
it done.
talking a credit card, though, I mean, some people get a line of credit. We talking $500, $2,000, $3,000. This is what we talking right
Yeah,
here.
it could be $500 is probably a little too low, but $2,500, $3,000, somebody might need that for closing costs to buy their property.
Wow.
So you lend it to them. You lend it to them. You make sure that the interest rate on your card is low enough that you can do that, and you have them pay you back residual. So whatever your minimum payment on your card is, you double that. You say, okay, I'm gonna charge you X percent. The bank charges me this percent. You get the difference.
That easy, huh?
I mean,
Why we
people
not
do it.
thinking about it?
People do it. I mean, there's some people. Some people come together and they pool their money. They'll say, I got 2,500. I got 10,000. I got 20,000.
Okay.
I got 5,000. We come together now. We got 40. Let's put it up, and then the return will be based on your percentage of your primary investment. So when it's all said and done, let's say you sell a property and you make 100,000. Everybody gets paid back their 40, and the other 60 gets split out based on your percentage of value into the whole.
So, but this is not a sprint. This is definitely a marathon type of race. Or
It
somebody's going to ask you, how long is this going to take, Marcus?
If time is of the essence for you and you need it to happen now, then just don't call me, because I want to be an impact on your life, not just your day. So if you want something today, okay, I can help you find something, but then we might go in and it's going to cost you a little more. But why?
Because you want the immediate
You
result.
want that immediate result. Well, why not work towards it so this can be everlasting? Again, it's not just about
And
your
generational
pockets.
at that.
That's what I said. It's generational wealth. It's legacy. It's not just for you. And that's what we as a people have been missing. You know, we have the grandparents, we have the aunts and the uncles, and then the parents that have these houses, these beautiful houses that have been sitting, that we're not taking care of them. We have an opportunity to take care of them, and we don't. We sell them off and then say we're being gentrified. You didn't have to do that. So we try to make sure we educate our community and say, no, don't sell it off, keep it. And let me show you what to do with it. Or if you're going to sell it off, let me help you sell it in a way that you're maximizing your profitability.
Right.
That you're maximizing your opportunity, because then you may be able to get back some money, pay off some bills, and then go take that money and go invest in another property.
Now, what if somebody coming to you, Marcus, and says, look, I'm in a real life situation. Me and my siblings are trying to figure out what to do with our mother's property. She's on her deathbed, or she's in a,
Right.
she's
Right. I've been
having
there.
a situation,
I've been there.
and we arguing.
I've been there.
So, two of us want to keep the home. Two of us want to sell the home. We coming to you for some advice. What should we do?
I'll be ready for this answer.
Okay.
You can do both.
Oh, wait.
Remember what I said. Think about what I said. You can buy, renovate, refinance. So what you do is it's two of the two that want to keep it, buy it from the two that don't want it. The two that kept it, renovate it, and either refinance it or sell it. Because at that point, you have now added value to the asset.
Already.
So they happy. They got their money, and you gonna make more money. Again, they didn't see the value in the legacy. They didn't see the value in the generational wealth, but you do. So let's keep it.
So let's look at the scenario on a long distance scale, because while you are DC Invest, y'all growing nationwide.
Yep.
Let's say, God forbid, my grandfather passes away.
Yes, ma'am.
He's got a house in North Carolina,
Yep.
and he done left me the house,
Yep.
but I live here.
Yep.
What do I do in that type of situation?
So in that situation, what you do is you try to find somebody in that market that specializes in purchases and sales and loans and things of that nature, and we help you do that through our network. And then you see what the real property, again, is you assess the situation. You say, what's
and then
the
you
property
right
worth?
back into the same.
It's the same thing.
Same sequence.
Once you know what you got, you figure out where you want to go, and you get there. And it's that. And it may be a situation where you say, okay, selling granddad's house right now may not yield us enough money, but it only costs us $1,000 a year to pay the property tax and keep the grass cut. Well, that's what we're going to do. We'll go winterize the house. We just keep it until we get into a situation we know we want to do. Maybe we see if the property value goes up. Then we may be able to refinance it, pull some money up, fix it, rent it out, use it as a vacation home.
Right.
It still stays in the family, and leave that to the kids later. And then just rent it while we're not there. Airbnb, vacation rentals by owner. I mean, there's so many options nationally that you could do with property that you would never think. And even if it just covers your expenses, it's still a good thing, because then it helps you with your taxes. It's a deduction.
Right,
That's still being,
that is a wonderful
so
little
that's still being an investor. Again, you may not be the one that flipped it, but you still are investing in real estate, which has you investing in you and your family.
Now, talk to me about the market. The market goes down.
Yep.
Do you lose?
You can. You
Okay.
absolutely can. But that's why what we do is we live by what's called the 70% rule. We only buy and renovate. That budget is always 70% or less of what the property can be worth. Now, the reason why that's important, it gives you a 30% deviation for error. If the market goes down 30%, we got a problem.
Okay, right.
We got a problem. That's just not going to happen. And even if you look at the boom when it went down, it really didn't go down that much.
Okay.
It's just that people overinflated values. But when you know real, true value, you get a good, stern, strict appraisal. You really look at your comparables, look at what houses are selling for around you. Say, okay, here's the value of my property. Here's what my property can be valued at. You want to make sure that you are at least at 70% of that number with all of your expenses. And that way, guess what? The market crashes again, then you fire sell it. You're not out any money.
Right.
You might just be
even.
great. Yeah.
Right.
And that's fine. You live to die another day, because guess what? Then you got more deductions on that tax return, still puts you in a good position, because you took a loss, seemingly took a loss, but from a tax standpoint.
So how does this reflect on someone's credit when you're going back to, hey, I got my 2,500 and I done flipped that, or I done invested that? Would that also benefit them?
Yes, indeed. So think about it. You got this $2,500 credit card that you never use. You never max it out to spend the money.
Right.
Okay, your score's going to drop a little bit, but every month you're getting that residual payment.
Right.
Don't be greedy. Don't spend any of it. Pay the card back off. Then you know what you do? You call the bank, you get increase your balance. Then you do it again.
And you go again.
And you just made your own money. And you made your money off somebody else. Because the credit card, that's not your money. You borrowed that.
You borrowed it, right.
And then you lent it to somebody else, paid it back, and you said, let me get a balance increase. Maybe it only goes up to $5,000. Okay, let's do it again. Then let's keep doing it. Next thing you know, you got $50,000 line of credit.
Marcus Thomas, DC Invest, dropping gems today. I'm telling you, this is just absolutely mind-boggling that it seems like you saying it like it seems so easy. I'm just wondering, like, what are some of the challenges that you're coming across what are some of the challenges you face when you're trying to convince and talk to people about this work?
So the number one thing is it's not easy, because I would say the hardest part is the consistency.
Okay.
Is the getting up and doing it and not knowing when you're really going to see your payday. You know, it's not a 9 to 5.
Okay.
At the end of the week, you're not getting a check. You got to earn it. And that's the big thing. You know, you have a lot of people saying, oh, I want to do what you do, so I'm quitting my job. No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is put yourself in a position to be financially free when you're not solely dependent on your job. Because you may actually like your job.
Right.
But then you may actually find this career in this other business that you may like more. And when you get to a point where you have those residuals and your lifestyle is taken care of off of this other thing, then you can look at your job and you can question it. But you don't just do it. And that's the biggest piece, is people see the freedom, the fact that we don't wear shirt and ties, the fact that we drive, we want to drive, we want to go and travel how we want to travel. They say, okay, I want to do that, so I'm quitting. No, Reggie and I both came from the corporate world and at some point said we're not doing that anymore. But we were already at a position where we were making money. We knew we knew our goal, and we had probably baselined our lifestyle to say, okay, push come to shove, I know I'll be able to pay my mortgage and my car note.
Right.
So I'm good. So anything above that is extra, and that's what you really want to do. You can't come into this already living outside your means and think you're just going to blow up.
Right.
Nah. You got to put in the work.
Be very practical and it might be a little humbling, but
the experience is like no other, and the gift that you get in the end is heaven sent.
I'm just thinking about this. You know, this is the top of the year, new me, new resolutions, and everything
vision.
like that. Absolutely. And so it's just a good opportunity. And is it still a good time? Because the last time we spoke to you, you were saying this is like historically, like the market is low. Like
it still is. And so right now, it's the turn of the year. It's the winter. Normally, prices are the lowest in the winter because a lot of people aren't buying.
Okay.
But here it's a little different. In this area, when the year shifts, it's like, okay, people are getting geared up to buy because they want to move in the spring, in the summer.
Okay.
So they're looking.
Right.
They're looking. You got to take advantage of that. Also, those same people are maybe relocating and leaving the house.
Oh, okay, right. That makes
So
sense.
same thing. Excuse me. So you take advantage of that by getting a little aggressive, looking at everything, looking at all opportunities and seeing where you fit in. But the market is never so bad that you shouldn't invest. You may need to change your strategy, but you should always be looking at buying. Always.
Is that just across the, and when I speak of the market right now, I'm talking DMV, but
Yep.
could that be applied across the world, well, the nation?
Yeah,
Could that be
definitely,
applied across
because,
the country?
You know, we yes and no. We're a little different here in the fact we got military, we got federal government, we got jobs galore.
Are we a booming market, for sure? That's why.
Excuse me. And we always will be.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that opportunity doesn't exist in other markets. Excuse me. Damn.
That's okay. You all right?
Yeah, man, post name. So it's not. It doesn't mean that the opportunities.
Let's pick up. I mean, the DMV is a booming market.
Yep.
Oh, dang.
You forgot.
Okay. Okay, so when we talk in markets, I'm thinking DMV because that's where we at.
That's right.
But does this type of work apply across the country?
It does. It does, as well as the opportunity. Now, again, we are
Unique.
very unique in what we have as far as government, military, job creation, wealth. We got some of the wealthiest counties in America.
Right.
For this to be such a small, I think 64 or 72 square mile city, I mean, it's huge. It's small in stance, but it's big in opportunity. So we always are leveraging that, and we teach that. Like, leverage the fact that, you know, you've got neighbors with cash. Leverage the fact that you got neighbors with intelligence, with education. So teach each other. Whereas you may go into other areas, they may not have the same opportunities because the minute the house goes on the market, people are not looking to buy it because it's not such a transient area. However, that may be a place for you to go purchase a property and rent it out because you have people that are long-term tenants. There's states like Texas, Ohio, Tennessee, parts of Maryland like Baltimore, and further out where people most likely don't buy homes. They just don't. They just rent. You got tenants forever. What does that mean? You can be a landlord forever.
Right.
And then when you're gone, your kids gonna be landlords.
Right.
And that's value. That's gonna be an asset that's paid for by somebody else, not you. So you look at the opportunity, and again, you start with assessing the situation. Look at the opportunity, determine based on your personality style how you're gonna attack it. If you like me and Reg, super aggressive. We gonna go buy everything. If you like a beach today right here, super excited. He just want to see the opportunities, and it may take him a little longer to get there, but once he's evaluated all the opportunities, he's gonna find something to attack. So it's really just determined on who you are as an individual and what you can do. You may have somebody that's a lot more safe to say, well, I'll just do one at a time, you know.
Right.
I'll rent one out, get my tenant, make sure it's straight. It may take me 2 or 3 years to make all my money back, and then I go to another one. We may have some people say, you know what, I don't want to do none of that. Let me start a construction company and help y'all build it. And that's my legacy, and that's my way into the investing. So it really just determines who you are and what space you want to play in.
So whether you are trying to invest or you are a contractor, plumbing, I don't know. I'm sitting here like, I don't even know all the pieces to put together.
Everything. We all play a part.
Paint.
Yeah, you play a part.
How can these people get in contact with you?
Same way. You check us out online, DC Invest LLC on Instagram. Go to YouTube, search for us, DC Invest LLC or DCInvestLLC.com.
And before I go, I wanted to ask you, what's like one of the biggest excuses people have given you as to why they can't?
It's time. Time. You'd be surprised that time is the bigger thing more than money. And to me, that's BS. It's 24 hours in a day. Like, what are you doing with it? Like, you might have spent 10 or 12 at the job. Of course, you got a home life. You spend 8, with the kids, but it's still about 4 or 5 hours in there that you ain't do nothing. So why aren't you at least evaluating opportunity? Why aren't you coming to the meetup and talking? You may not never buy nothing.
Right.
You may not never lend any money, but at least you rub elbows with the people so that when you're ready, you already geared up, you already been to school, it's time to go. And you can go, and then that person will be able to go at a rate that nobody else was because they've been just studying. They just been in the cocoon.
Knowledge.
Yeah, they got the skill set. And that's the thing. And then people afraid because they don't have any talent at it. They think, oh, I'm not passionate about it, so I don't really, I don't want to do it. Don't take no passion, just take skills and all those things you can learn.
Now, before we go, it just dawned on me that it is an election year. Is that something that could affect this negatively or positively?
So,
and we're in the middle of an impeachment too.
It's crazy. As much as going on in the White House, when the market is phenomenal. Like, it might take a dip and then it goes up. I mean, you got a businessman running the world right now, and he apparently knows good business. But it could have an effect.
That's arguable, but
It could have an effect, but I don't think that. The only way it can have a large effect is if interest rates either climb really high or if they drop really low. That's good. That's good for everybody. But I think they'll stay moderate where they are. They're still at pretty much all-time lows. So people always buying and selling, regardless of who's in that house.
We're not dropping 30%, is what you're saying.
No, ma'am. Excuse me, not at all.
Well, I ain't going to hold you too much longer. You done dropped all the gems. How, one more time, how can we get in contact with you, and when can we meet up with you?
So you can meet up with me and the team, Reg, everybody, Beach today, Heather, the whole crew. You can meet up with us the fourth Thursday of every month at the Hilton Garden Inn for the DC Invest meetup from 7 to 9:30. Come get your drink on, party, learn, enjoy yourself. You can catch us at DC Invest LLC on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and DCInvestLLC.com.
Thank you, Marcus Thomas.
Thank you, ma'am.
Monday, I grind.